I've lived on Pine Ridge Road for nearly 20 years. Quiet woods, long gravel driveways, neighbors who minded their own business. We didn't have an HOA. In fact, everyone here hated HOAs. So when a group of 3 men started patrolling the area in reflective vests, blocking driveways, handing out fake violations, and calling themselves the Pine Ridge Community Patrol, most of us assumed it was a joke. At first. Then things escalated. It started with my neighbor, old Mr. Caldwell, knocking on my door one Saturday morning, shaking with anger. "They fined me," he shouted before I even said hello, "for having my garbage can facing the wrong direction." I blinked. "Fined? By who?" He shoved a paper into my hand. It was printed on plain white paper with a big black stamp that read, "Pine Ridge Homeowners Association. Patrol citation. $150. They stuck it right on my porch," he growled. "They even wrote that repeat offenses would require a hearing with the compliance board." We had no HOA, no compliance board, nothing. I walked outside and looked down the street. The patrol truck was parked 2 houses down. Silver pickup, yellow lights on top, magnets on the doors that looked like something printed at a copy shop. They were going up and down the road writing tickets on random houses. A creeping anger crawled up my spine. Whoever these guys were, they were about to have a problem. The first confrontation. A week later, the fake patrol stopped right at the end of my driveway. I watched from my porch as one of them, a tall, bulky guy with wraparound sunglasses and a tactical vest, took out a clipboard. He scribbled something down, slapped a yellow slip onto the wooden post at the end of my drive, and turned back toward his truck. That was it. I marched straight there. "Hey," I snapped, snatching the slip off my post. "What do you think you're doing?" The man turned slowly, sizing me up like he actually had authority. "Sir," he said in a military wannabe voice, "your mailbox height is below Pine Ridge HOA standards. That's a Class C violation. You have 72 hours to comply." I stared at him. "Mailbox height?" "Yes," he said, completely serious. "Approved height is between 42 and 48 inches. We don't have an HOA," I said. "There is no standard." He smirked. "Sir, Pine Ridge HOA has been provisionally activated by Section 14C of the Community Covenant." He tapped the cheap magnet on the door of his truck. "It's official." I looked at the magnet. The logo was crooked. "This is fraud," I said. "You need to leave." He stepped closer, puffing his chest. "Sir, interfering with an HOA officer is a major violation." "You're not an officer," I snapped. "You're a clown in a vest." His jaw clenched. "You will receive a citation in the mail." I folded my arms. "And you'll be receiving a visit from the sheriff if you don't get off private property." He stared me down for a long moment, then climbed into the truck and drove off. I'd hoped that would be the end of it. But it never is it? The fake HOA tightens its grip. Over the next few weeks, everything ramped up. Neighbors found HOA violation envelopes stuck in their doors. Fines for grass height. Fines for holiday decorations. Fines for improper vehicle storage. One woman was fined for having curtains that clashed with the neighborhood aesthetic. People started paying. 2, out of fear, confusion, or just not wanting a conflict. That only emboldened the fake patrol. Then came the intimidation. Karen across the road had her car blocked in. The Thompson kids were threatened with failure to comply, tickets for riding their bikes in the cul-de-sac. One man had his shed padlocked shut with an HOA sticker stuck to the hinge. It was out of control. I'd had enough. The second confrontation, and the line they crossed. It was a Wednesday afternoon when I heard the rumbling engine in my driveway. I walked outside to find the same silver pickup parked halfway up my gravel road. 3 guys were there this time. Tactical vests, radios, sunglasses, pretending they were a paramilitary HOA SWAT team. "What now?" I asked, stepping off the porch. The leader held up a clipboard. The same guy who wrote the mailbox ticket. "Sir," he said, with that fake official tone, "your property has multiple ongoing violations. Your grass exceeds the allowable height near the back fence, your barn door is unpainted, and you have unauthorized livestock." I blinked. "Unauthorized what?" "Chickens," he said, flipping through papers. Only 3 chickens allowed per household. You have 9. This idiot had counted my chickens. Get out, I said. We're doing an inspection, he said. We have the right. The only thing you have the right to do, I snapped, is turn around and walk off my property. He smirked. Failure to allow inspection is grounds for escalating to the compliance board. I don't care if it escalates to the Galactic Senate, I said. You're trespassing. He stepped closer, hands on his vest like he expected a showdown. Sir, we've received multiple complaints about your property. You need to stay calm and comply. Calm. I was this close to dumping his clipboard in the chicken coop. Last warning, I said. Get off my land. He grinned. Or what? And then, stupidly, arrogantly, he pushed past me, heading toward the backyard. That was it. He'd crossed from nuisance to trespass. And I was done playing. When the shotgun spoke, I didn't yell, didn't argue. I simply turned around, walked calmly into my house, and opened the gun safe. I grabbed my old 12-gauge pump, not loaded, safety on, and stepped back outside. The 3 men froze. Whoa, whoa, whoa. The leader shouted, Sir, this is a major violation. Threatening HOA officers. I racked a shell into the chamber. Loud, echoing, a sound that demands attention. Every one of them flinched. This, I said, pointing the barrel at the ground, is not a threat. This is a reminder of where you are. This is private property. This is a stand your ground state. And this is your final warning. They shifted nervously. Get off my land. I pumped the shotgun again for emphasis. Now, the leader swallowed hard. You can't. I aimed downward and fired a warning shot into the dirt. Boom. The sound rolled through the woods like thunder. Birds exploded out of trees. Dust flew. And those 3 pretend patrol tough guys suddenly weren't so tough. Okay. The leader yelled, hands up. We're leaving. They scrambled into the truck so fast one guy tripped over the running board. Gravel flew as they tore back down my driveway, tires spinning, engine screaming. They didn't even look back. The sheriff shows up. 2 hours later, a sheriff's cruiser rolled up. I met the deputy at the gate. You the one who fired a shotgun? He asked. Yes, I said. Into the ground. On my land. He nodded. We've had several reports from some individuals claiming they're HOA enforcement. I raised an eyebrow, claiming. So you know, we've been getting calls for months, he said. They're scammers. Fake HOA, fake patrol, fake fines, the whole operation. We've been trying to catch them in the act. Well, I said, they were definitely acting today. He smirked. We got your warning shot on a neighbor's Ring camera. Honestly, looked justified. You told them to leave, they refused, they trespassed. I folded my arms. So what happens now? We're issuing arrest warrants, he said. Fraud, impersonating officials, extortion, harassment, trespassing, the works. Good, I said. Then he leaned closer. And between you and me, that warning shot probably saved us a month of paperwork. They won't be back. The fallout. The fake HOA patrol vanished overnight. No more vests. No more magnets. No more fake citations. The sheriff's office arrested 2 of the men within a week. The ringleader, the sunglasses vest guy, tried to flee to another state, but they caught him at a gas station when his truck broke down. Turns out, they weren't even locals. They were running a scam across rural communities, setting up fake HOAs, issuing fines, collecting dues, and disappearing before anyone caught them. Until they met me. Word spread through the neighborhood fast. Old Mr. Caldwell stopped by again, laughing so hard he had tears in his eyes. You should have seen their faces when you fired that shotgun, he said. Whole street heard it, scattered like pigeons. I shrugged. They asked for it. You're a hero, he said. I'm just a guy who doesn't tolerate trespassers. The real HOA tries to move in, and leaves just as fast. Funny thing is, about 2 months later, a real HOA company tried to approach our area. They sent brochures, held a little meeting at the library, talked about bringing order to Pine Ridge. Half the neighborhood showed up to shut it down. When the presenter mentioned mandatory covenants, Mr. Caldwell raised his hand and asked, "Will the HOA patrol be bulletproof?" The presenter froze. What? Someone whispered loudly. Don't mess with Pine Ridge. We've got a man with a shotgun. I slid down in my seat. Please stop telling people that. But the HOA representative packed up his brochures and never came back. Honestly, good. We didn't need an HOA. We had peace, privacy, and neighbors who looked out for each other. And if some scammer showed up pretending to enforce rules, well, I had a shotgun that spoke louder than their fake tickets. 6 months later, the closure. One quiet evening, I got a knock on my door. It was the sheriff's deputy from before. Thought you'd like to know, he said. The fake HOA case wrapped up. All 3 of them pled guilty. Good, I said. They admitted your warning shot is what finally convinced them to run, he added. Said you were the first person who didn't fall for their authoritative presence routine. Authoritative, I snorted. They looked like they bought their uniforms from the dollar store. He laughed. Anyway, the community owes you. I nodded. Just glad it's done. Before he left, he looked back and said, most people call the cops first. You fired a warning shot instead. It worked, I said. He smiled. It really did. Peace returns to Pine Ridge. Life returned to normal. The chickens roamed freely again, uninspected. The grass grew as tall as it wanted behind the fence. My mailbox stayed exactly the same height, a proud symbol of HOA rebellion. Whenever a salesman or surveyor came down the road, neighbors joked. Careful, watch out for the HOA enforcer. I'd roll my eyes, but secretly. A part of me was proud. Not because of the gun. Not because of the warning shot. But because we stood up for our little community, a place where nobody needed an HOA to live peacefully. Where neighbors talked instead of tattled. Where privacy mattered. Where scammers learned very quickly that we weren't easy targets. The fake patrol came here thinking we were a bunch of quiet country folks who wouldn't fight back. And they were half right. We were quiet, until pushed. Then, well, my shotgun said the rest.